Assalamu alaikum. Dear learners, I hope you are fine and doing great. Today I'm going to talk about a learning technique and introduce you to a very productive tool that can help you in implementing this learning technique in today's fast-paced world. The technique that I'm going to describe is from my personal experience and it was published by a psychologist and educationist a long time ago. Here goes the technique. The human brain has evolved over millions of years and it has a certain way to do the things. The human brain learns by first memorizing and then relating different memories with each other and infer concepts and ideas. Now, in this sentence, I've introduced two steps of the process of how human brain learns. The first step is to memorize, and the second step is to relate the memorized ideas to infer new knowledge. Let's see both of these steps one by one. The first step of memorizing can be completed by generally following a routine. Though there are other factors as well that influence memorization, but just revising the information within first 24 hours of receiving it allows your brain to store more than 50% of it. Otherwise, if you listen to a talk and do not take notes and hence didn't revise it, then by 24 hours you would have forgotten 70% of the content. However, if you have taken notes and revised those notes within 24 hours, then more than 50% of the content is right away memorized. Another revision in the following week will take memorization to 80% or above. I have been following this technique since my childhood. At that time, I didn't know about this technique, but somehow I was following something like this. This routine allowed me to enjoy cartoons, play sports, and relax even on the days of exams. So, this is everything about the first step. So, now what about the second step? That is to relate the stored memories, infer new ideas and knowledge. Well, this was seldomly required when I was a kid. But as you progress through life, the things in your memory grow and making meaningful connections becomes difficult because of the overburdening of the information in your head. At this point comes in a tool that will help you achieve not just storing information, but relating one idea with another so that you can analyze a complex collection of information quickly. The tool I'm going to introduce is quite famous for note taking and managing large pieces of information and is called Obsidian. Now, this tool is something never to be missed. Firstly, even in today's world, this tool works completely offline, which means it's quick, safe, and you have complete control over it. And by the way, it's completely free as well. Secondly, it is the most storage efficient tool out there. You can store tons and tons of information in the form of text and images, and your whole collection will fit in just few MBs thanks to the Markdown format which Obsidian uses. Markdown format is becoming more and more popular because of its highly storage efficient nature. Now, coming towards how to set up Obsidian, if you have heard about it before, then you must have heard that it takes a bit of practice getting the hang of Obsidian at first. But let me be the first one to say that no, it's not that difficult. An average computer user can start using it with reasonable ease within 3 to 4 hours of its first use, provided you do not wander off. Obsidian has a large community and hence huge number of plugins to help you out. But this is the catch. The more plugins you try to use, the more difficult Obsidian becomes initially. So for the first timers, I'll suggest start with one or two core plugins only, and when you become comfortable, then you can go for other plugins as well. Anyhow, if you didn't get anything I just said, then it's completely okay. Let me take you through it and you will get hang of it quickly if you follow on my footsteps. To get Obsidian, you just have to go onto this website, obsidian.md. And over here, you will see that you can get this for Windows and for other platforms as well. Download it from here and install it. When you will run it for the first time, this is what you're going to see. All you have to do is you have to create a new vault over here. Vault is nothing but a folder where all your notes and every information you are going to store will be stored. So create a vault, point it towards a location on your PC, and that's it. You're going to see something like this. On the left hand side, you're going to see a panel where all your notes will appear. In the middle, you're going to see an area where you can type in your notes. And on the right side, there is another bar where you will see some things later on. If you want to get hang of Obsidian quickly, then please follow these steps. Do not wander off and do not go into unnecessary detail at start because it will overwhelm you and you will quickly, maybe in 2 or 3 days, will get fed up and will stop using it. So the very first thing you need to understand is that when you are taking notes, when you are storing information, it has to be in some format. And for every person out there, that format is unique. For example, the way I used to take class notes or any other meeting notes is different than someone else. This tool helps you to quickly start taking notes by creating templates. For example, if I'm in a meeting, then I want to take notes in a certain format. In contrast, if I'm in a class, then the note taking will have to change. Maybe if I'm reviewing some book, it will have different sections in it. I will have to take notes differently. So whatever are your needs, you can create template for that once, and whenever you are confronted with that situation, for example, you want to take the notes for the class, you just need to open that template and start typing. So the very first thing is start building templates. And it will take about maybe a week or two before you can finalize your templates. So start with anything you like, and then on the way you can modify those things. So the very first thing is you need to create a new note. So you can click on this button, or you can go with Control plus N if you are using Windows, and that's it. A note is created. You can type in whatever name you want to type. For example, I want this note to be a template for movie reviews. Its introduction will be in this section. And after that, maybe I want to store this information as well, the main characters, and I want to record what's the main idea was. So that's it. So these are the things which I need to record. You have just seen that I have used double hash sign over here. This is the way to generate headings in Markdown format. Don't worry if you don't get these things. You will get the hang of this as you progress. So that's it. I want this template to appear whenever I am going to review a movie. Over here you can see that this note has been saved with the title of movie name, and I want to use it as a template. Now to use this note as a template, it has to be in a special folder. And that folder for me is the templates. So I have placed this thing over here in the template. Now, if you want to use this template multiple times, whenever you want to review a movie, you have to make sure that Obsidian understands that this node doesn't have any information, but is acting as template only. For that, you have to use a plugin. I'm just going to explain two plugins in this video, which are enough for the first time. So the first one is the plugin of templates. So you go to this settings, and over here in core plugins, scroll down and look for a plugin named templates. Make sure it's on, and in the settings you can see that I have the template folder location as templates. So this is the folder which I have created, and it will act as template. So any note placed in this folder will act as template. So here's my template folder. I've created it. You can create folders from here. I've created this template folder and I've placed certain templates over here. Now you can close it. Now here's the fun thing. Now, whenever you start a new file, you can quickly import the template over here. And the shortcut for that is Alt plus E. And it will open that which template you want to have over here. You can click on movie name and that's it. So your template is over here, start typing. So this is one of the way you can store information. You'll see that the note is created over here and it will store this information quite quickly. And now the second template which I'm going to introduce is the daily notes, because you have to take notes daily for some things. The idea is that you cannot take permanent notes as the things are going. For example, if you are attending a class, you cannot take permanent notes. You have to just quickly write the things down. Those things are called fleeting notes. And once you are at ease, once you are at home or find free time, you convert those fleeting notes into permanent notes by carefully going through them and reproducing and noting things which are more important. So for quickly taking notes, you can use this plugin of daily notes. So make sure that it is turned on. Click on the settings button. You can change the date format, but leave it that way. Once again, you have to assign the folder to it. So I have assigned fleeting notes folder. You can see that I have a fleeting note folder over here. And the template it is going to use for daily notes is once again in the templates folder, and it is labeled as daily note template. That's it. If you want this daily note to automatically open up whenever you start Obsidian for the first time on any day, then you can turn this option on. Otherwise, if you want to control it yourself, keep it off. So now all you have to do is run Obsidian, click on this open daily note today, and it will open the template which you have created for the daily notes. This is my template. So I have certain things over here which I cannot show, and there are certain tasks, and over here there is a section for fleeting notes. So anything I want to add or I want to just remember, I'll quickly jot it down over here, and at the end of the day or maybe the next day, I'll see what are the fleeting notes over here and I assemble them in different notes and then put them in the respective folders, because you have to assemble or you have to organize your notes a bit. Over here, you can see that I have certain folders. So my fleeting notes, they always go into this folder. I drag those things. I can drag this file into fleeting notes, and my templates go over here. Some reference notes go over here. Then there are permanent notes. Maybe there are some other things, and it's all up to you that how you are going to manage the notes. Now, this was all about the first step, that is memorization, how you store information. Now, the next thing where the wonder is going to happen is how this information is going to link up. For that, you have to make sure that your notes have specific backlinks in them. Now, what are backlinks? Backlinks are just like web links, which link you from one page to another page. For example, if you are storing information for some movie, maybe Avengers, and you know that the main characters are Robert Downey Jr., and you can type in as many characters as you like, but you just saw what I did there. The very first thing, I used a dash with a space, and it will convert into a bullet dot like this. Secondly, I used double square brackets, and it will open up a menu where I can see all the links or the backlinks to the files or to the tags which I have created in all my notes. So if this Robert Downey Jr. appears anywhere else in my notes, whenever I'm going to type in this double square bracket, it is going to appear up over here, and it will be linked with each other. So all the multiple notes that are linked together, or they have same tags in them, or these backlinks as you say in them, they will be linked with each other. This will allow you to later on review that how the things are progressing, and you can see a whole chart of the things which you have created. Maybe after 2, 3, or 4 months of use, you will open up your brain, which is on this Obsidian, and see that what information you have stored, how that information is linked up, and how you can go from one place to another. I guess these are the only things you need for starting, and it will be enough for you to get the hang of Obsidian. Just let me show you that how my graph view looks. So you can go over here and click on open graph view. So this is my graph view. You can see that all the information, all the nodes which I have created, they are placed over here. And the larger ones, it means that they are connected to other nodes most oftenly. And this one is the smallest, so there is nothing after that. This node over here is alone, and ultimately it will grow, and you will see that how the things are connected. So I can go into these nodes by clicking on the nodes, and then add information, see information, review them, and see how they are linked to others. And this will create more ideas for me. And in future, I can always go back and see how did I stored information, how those things were linked up, and I can quickly access whatever piece of information I want. I don't need to store any of this thing in my brain. All I have to do is take the notes and put it somewhere in my vault, which means that somewhere over here in these folders. That's it. I don't need to remember anything. Obsidian is going to remember that thing for me. I just need to remember a tag word, a name of the file, a person, and I'm just going to search for it, and it will pop up. For example, let me show you one other thing, that in my permanent notes, I have persons. So there are a lot of persons over here. And out of those, let's see this person. So this is the person. He's my colleague in Learning Orbis. And his a bit of information is over there, and he's involved with me in these projects. I've used some plugins to automate this thing, but don't worry for now. You can do this thing maybe after a month or a two, but don't do it at the very start. So, dear learners, I'm just quickly going to revise what I've said, and I seriously request you that you do the same. Please don't wander off, because this Obsidian software is quite difficult if you're not sure where you are going to go. So you should be focused, and you should only explore it slowly. So the very first thing is, make some templates, use the template plugin, make activate the daily notes, make a template for daily note, open up Obsidian every day, open up the daily note template, and start typing it. That's it. How I have stored these notes over here in different folders, that's another technique, and I'll just refer to it. Its name is called Zettelkasten, and you can search for it on Google. I'll have another video on it, and I'll explain that why I have made these kind of folders and how these folders help me out. So for starter, you just only need to worry about taking notes, putting them in your Word. Don't worry about where they are going, why they are going. Just make sure that you have these kind of links. And if you now click on this link, it will open up an empty page. You can even add some information over here. So it may be a person. So you can add person information. For example, I have a template for persons. So I can add person over here. Okay, don't worry about how these things I have done. These are quite easy, and believe me, I have no idea what this code is doing, but I know what it is going to give me. So you can learn these things along the way. So dear learners, I hope you have understood the initial use of Obsidian, and you'll start using it if you want to organize your thoughts, organize your memories, and all the things. So till the next video, thank you and take care.